Well, good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Raw Rasputin. Tips, tricks, educationals for War Thunder. So I went out and bought myself the X-56 HOTAS from Logitech, which means hands-on throttle and stick. I wanted for myself a different feel, a more realistic feel about flying War Thunder. So that's what I did. You can see it in the picture. There's like a total of 136 or 138 programmable buttons on your Logitech stick and throttle all together. There's like on the stick somewhere on the throttle there's a little switch. You can even like switch like mode 1, 2 or 3. So lots and lots of options. So like I said, I got this about 5, 6 days ago. I haven't had a whole lot of time the first couple of days to really do anything with it. I had a couple of hours here and there. And most of my time I really spent programming everything and looking at videos and manuals and how did this person do it, how did that person do it, and I downloaded somebody's saved file, which was a SciTech, and I used that as an example, but that didn't really work out that well for me, but it was a good baseline to start with. And that's where I started and started building on that. And you can go to the wizard of the game, and the wizard will help you a great bit, but then some point they're like, okay, what are you really asking me to do here? I don't understand, but you just skip those. I skipped them for now. So my main goal at this point was to set up an airplane, so my flaps, ailerons, elevators, rudder, and all that stuff, throttle, to get that set up, my machine guns. So that was my main goal, and then selecting targets and be able to look around and all that basic stuff, more or less. I'm not even concerned about rockets or missiles or bombs. So although the wizard does touch that, and I did set him up, but right now I just want to do basic. That's why I'm flying a level 2 MiG to just get started and see what I can and cannot do. So as you could see here, I went right past it, but on my takeoff there's already the first big difference between your mouse and keyboard and the HOTAS. So on the HOTAS I'm using sim setup, so because I like the little cross mark there. I don't like the big ring around it that you get in realistic battle setup, but there's a sim setup. And the first thing you see on takeoff is you actually have your torque of your engine influence the airplane while taking off. So I have to give a little bit of left rudder to maintain as straight as a course as possible to take off. And then if I hit that throttle to 0 to 100 right now, I'm probably gonna like have an uncontrollable airplane. So that's the first problem. Then the second problem is once you take off, your airplane kind of needs trimmed out, and that's a process too, which I'm still trying to figure out what's the best setup for this. So the way I have it set up right now, it's pretty much auto. I try to level the plane out with my joystick, and then I hit a button on my throttle and it says okay, trim done. But it's not perfect. I'm still working on that. On my throttle there's two like scroll buttons more or less on my thumb side that actually have a middle setting on it, and I think I'm going with that one for at least for my ailerons and my elevators. My rudder I'm okay with, I think. So right now I got them set up for like one dial knob, the RTY3, and then my pinky on my throttle, which I'm not very happy with. I might use that pinky later on for my zoom. But anyway, then the other option is, that's right here, you can see it. I'm trying to see behind me and I can't look behind me. I know there's on the radar. It shows it has planes behind me, but I don't know where they're at. Excuse me. So I can't see them. So that's another setting I have to change. I know I changed it a while back and made it less aggressive when I move the stick around, but I have to move it back again to like make it more sensitive, so I can see what's going on. So, so the thing I do like though is that you have more. If your eye-hand coordination is pretty decent, which I'm not there yet. I'm still learning, but you can play with your throttle and your joystick more, and you can give rudder inputs more easily, and aileron and elevator all at the same time without using about 6 fingers on each hand. So I only got 5 fingers on one hand. Oh, no, I don't have 6 on the other, but yeah, you can do a little more maneuverability because you have more freedom in your controls. You're not limited to your 5 fingers. So that's a benefit, and as you could see just a second ago, you can also get into a flat spin, what I just did. So yeah, so I just crashed my other MiG, so I jumped into this one just to keep rolling, to keep myself moving. But as you can see again, takeoff, you need your little rudder input. Actually, this airplane is a little less sensitive for that torque, but it went easier, and then I got a huge right twist on my airplane while I'm taking off. So here's where I set my elevators and my rudder. It's like an auto, an auto set for all surfaces, and I don't like it that way. I would like to change that. So, and that's what I'm doing right here. Like the first 30 seconds of the match, you're pretty much trimming out whatever you have, but once it's set, you're pretty much good. So yeah. So like I said before, there's still a lot of work to be done here, and the most important thing that I have to do right now is getting used to this joystick. It's really hard to get it on target. The way it controls, it's not a mouse. It's like way different. The airplane is responding different. And with the mouse, I know what to do to make my airplane stop turning, and I'm not really there yet with the joystick. And I might have to play with the sensitivity too. So I have to see what's happening now. The thing I have issues with, and I mentioned that earlier, is like my view. Look here, it's like, oh man, where's my target? You're about to get seasick here with twisting your little thumb joystick around. Like, oh gosh, yeah, well, I found it, but goodness gracious, it's painful. So the next thing I would like to do, and it's, yeah, maybe Christmas is good to me. I would like to get the track IR. I thought about getting like a VR set, but the track IR might be a better solution because I still have vision of my surroundings, so I know where my keyboard is at, and I know where my joysticks are at and my buttons, because that's going to be the biggest problem. And here's my problem with aiming. It's like, at least this was not as bad as usual, the way I usually aim with the joystick, but yeah, the track IR gives me at least the view of my surroundings, where I'm sitting at, where my joystick's at, where my keyboard is at, where my mouse is at. If I get to the VR, it's going to be a different game, so it's going to be a different situation. It's hard to find your keyboard if you need to do something on the keyboard, or your mouse if you have to do something with the mouse, or the buttons on your joystick. So I chose, it's cheaper too, because they actually had a Black Friday deal. So I asked Santa to be nice to me, but yeah, it was like $99 for the track IR, which is usually 150 something. Well, they kill you on shipping, so. But anyway, maybe Santa will do this for me, and since I'm Santa, I think he will. So, but anyway. So that's my next thing. That way, I don't have to use this little joystick anymore. I can get my surroundings and where I'm at in the game better. So here's my aiming issue, and throttle back. I'm trying to throttle back. I cannot turn fast enough with this Fury, so I'll give up. And anyway, so yep. So still a learning curve, and I'm still trying to like look around me right here. And there's somebody shooting at me, and I don't know who it is. So I'm trying to figure out who is shooting at me, and this is all I can do. This just aggravates me. I have to change that. So I cannot see what's behind me. I'm trying every way possible. The other thing too is like this airplane. Once you point it with the joystick in a certain direction, kind of automatically stays that way. It's not going back with the mouse, at least as far as I know. Is that right? Well, usually I use the keyboard, I think. So right now I'm trying to change that setting for my view, going in there and like, no, that's not it. No, and there's your multiplier, which you can change, which will tell you how fast your your little joystick will move when how fast your view will change when you move the little joystick. So I got it set lower. I'm thinking I'm gonna put it back at 1. I think is where I'm at. So since there's two settings on there, I have to change X, Y, so both of them, and set them to 1, which is like the normal setting, more or less. So, and let's see how that works for me. So back to the game. See how that's better. Look at that. So yeah, that's something like you have to play with. Everything is like, okay, you have to set sensitivity, you have to set this, you have to like, everything is just slightly different. So it takes time, but you'll get there. I mean, for me too, and like it's aggravating because I want to play the game. I want to like make lines. I want to do this, and I don't want to get killed every time. But I have to do this in order to eventually be able to use this properly. You know, it's like an airline pilot. Oh gosh, flak gut just got me. So you'll get used to it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time, and good luck.